Hello, it's Susan Duclos, September 20th, 2014, for All News Pipeline. The question that we're going to be asking here, and I'm not going to insist it does, but there are some that do. I received an email pointing me out to a specific portion of this brand new executive order that we're looking at, September 18, 2014. This is the White House website, and the email insists that this offers the Obama administration just gave the U.S. government the power to order mandatory vaccines. As you'll see in the second video below, the article associated with this video, there'll be a second video in there. And watch that too, because Pastor Paul, or Minister Paul, believes that it also gives the U.S. government the power to make RFID chips implants mandatory as well. So we're going to go over these, and you decide for yourself if either one of those are right or maybe both. First, let's start with the July 31st executive order, the revised list of quarantinable communicable diseases. They added severe acute respiratory syndrome in there. Now, as many might know, there's 22 states as of this morning that have been confirmed with lab cases of this rare, supposedly rare, EV68, which is a respiratory syndrome, which now the government does have the power to quarantine these people. Now, this syndrome is attacking children from coast to coast now, because there's been one confirmation of EV in California, and it started over on the East Coast. Okay, so that takes care of this one. Now, let's go to September 18, 2014. This is an executive order combating antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Now, we were led to Section 7. I'll go ahead and link these in the article associated with the video so you can read the whole things yourselves. But we're going right here. Preventing and responding to infections and outbreaks with antibiotic-resistant organisms. Task force agencies shall, as appropriate, utilize the enhanced surveillance activities described in Section 6 of this order to prevent antibiotic-resistant infections by actively identifying and responding to antibiotic-resistant outbreaks, preventing outbreaks and transmissions of antibiotic-resistant infections in healthcare, community, and agricultural settings through, now get this, early detection and tracking. Now that's why Minister Paul thinks this will make mandatory RFID chips, and of resistant organisms, and identifying and evaluating additional strategies in the healthcare and community settings for effective prevention and control of antibiotic-resistant infections. Now, via the email, the person who thinks that mandatory vaccines are here says DOD, HHS, and the VA shall review and, as appropriate, update their hospital and long-term care infectious disease protocols for identifying, isolating, and treating antibiotic-resistant bacterial infections. Now, it doesn't mention vaccines here, but on the fact sheet provided again on the White House website, if you go down to the third paragraph, executive order signed today by President Obama directs federal departments and agencies to implement the national strategy and address the PCAST report. National strategy provides a 5-year plan for enhancing domestic and international capacity to prevent and contain outbreaks of antibiotic-resistant infections, maintain the efficacy of current and new antibiotics, and develop and deploy next-generation diagnostics, antibiotics, and you got it, vaccines, and other therapeutics. Now, this executive order was also left in a comment section of a piece I did about a Hagman and Hagman report. That article will also be linked in the details of this video and in the article associated with this video, where David Hodges went on to the Hagman and Hagman excellent investigative journalism where he figured he tied together the fact that between the CDC, NIH, Bill Gates, the US government, the Ebola virus, and any hybrid virus, any strain with 70% commonality into it, is owned by the CDC via patent, and the vaccine that is being created will benefit, is owned by NIH. So will benefit everybody from Melinda Gates to the US government to the CDC to basically billions can be made from these vaccines. And people have also been worried about that implant being mandatory. So the question here is, between both of these, the fact sheet, but specifically the executive order from September 18th, did the Obama administration just give the US government the power to force vaccines on people that do not take them for whatever reason, whether they don't trust them? I mean, we have been hearing quite a bit. A whistleblower saying they hid side effects of these vaccines after years of claiming autism wasn't caused by it, or there's a lot going on with vaccines that give people a legitimate reason to be wary of them and perhaps not want to take them. Can the government now force them to? And tracking. Well, how do you track? I mean, the implants work for that. So both these people have legitimate concerns, and after reading these, after looking it up yourself and researching it, you decide if you agree with them.